On this episode of River Tales, we'll explore a bit of Cape Girardeau history, then examine the work of a local artist. We'll take a seat in a high school media class and find our homes during sorority recruitment. And before we leave, we'll take a look at an innovative program at an area school. Stay tuned for River Tales.
The Cape Girardeau River Heritage Museum belongs to the people of Cape Girardeau, and we showcase the city's history. We go back to the Girardeaus, which was Jean-Baptiste Girardeau and his wife, Therese Nauvoo. Girardeau was not the founder of the city, but he's the city's namesake. We have exhibits in this room. This is our upper gallery. We have exhibits in the room about Girardeau. We had a duel here in 1806, and we have an exhibit about it. It was quite interesting. And of course, we have the showboats from the middle part of the 1800s. The lower gallery features Lewis Houck, who was considered to be the father of Southeast Missouri. He brought the railroad here. He was responsible for getting SEMO, Southeast Missouri State University, located in Cape Girardeau. And then of course we have our own Marie Oliver. Mrs. Oliver designed the Missouri state flag while living here in Cape Girardeau in her house on North Street.
The first Cape Girardeau Museum was located in the Common Police Courthouse in downtown Cape Girardeau. They had financial difficulties, so that closed, and there was no museum until the Bicentennial Project of 1975 put forth efforts to establish a museum in downtown Cape Girardeau, and they found a building on the waterfront and put in a museum. This was 1975, and it did not last too long. In 1977, they were out. And so another building had to be found, and in 1977, they found this old police and fire station. We preserve stories and memorabilia and all kinds of artifacts that pertain to the daily lives of the people who lived here ever since the town has existed. Little stories about someone that cooked for people at the jail. We have a written record of those things for people in the future to come and research. Use our library and research, and we have old things that were written, and not only important things that have pertained to people's lives that might have made the newspapers, but things in their daily lives that are still historical and would be lost completely if we didn't have our little museum.
I'm Helen Towner, and I've lived here in Cape Girardeau for 17 years with my husband. I have a degree in art education. I graduated in 1971 from a school in Indiana, but I got back into art more intensely in 2006, although I've been doing things artistic for a long, long time. Up working at a school at Cottonwood as a teacher's assistant, and then I eventually became an art teacher, but I became kind of frustrated because I had nothing artistic to do. And I started going to a drawing group that they have downtown at the Art Council in 2006, just because I needed an outlet, and it kind of just grew from there. So I've been drawing for a long time. My mother drew, and I showed promise pretty early. My aunt got me art lessons for a while when I was 10. But my grandmother, she lived in Chicago, and she was married to an architect, and she was very involved with the Art Institute. Memory of anything artistic from her was when I was only 4. And I would never have done this with a 4-year-old. She gave me a set of English watercolors, beautiful set of 40 colors, and I played with it. I had it for years. I don't even know what happened to it. It was a metal box, and it had all these colors, and I just was totally fascinated by it. I think about a lot of things. I think about the process because I'm still learning, even though I've done very well with some of these things. I'm still learning, and so I'm still striving to make it feel like what I want it to feel like. Not just something realistic, but there's something about a mood of a place, or a mood of a something, or a mood of a person's face, and the color, and trying to get that edge, and it doesn't always work. Artists say that, even good ones say they're happy with 1 out of 8 pieces they do, which is very realistic, actually. It's more about having, even if I can't draw, if I'm in a place where it's beautiful, I do well. I do better.
At Southeast Missouri State, we know agriculture can mean so much more than working on the farm. It means research and lab work that lead to profitability and sustainability. It means creating new jobs that other people haven't even thought of yet. It means the spirit of entrepreneurship and the desire to make your own way. You want to do something groundbreaking beyond plowing fields. So let's get started.
You can sing in the shower and doodle in the margins of a notebook for the rest of your life, or you can push your creativity to center stage and develop the skills to back it up. At Southeast Missouri State University, you can surround yourself with minds that are as creative and weird and beautiful as yours, at a campus dedicated exclusively to the arts, with classmates who share your passion and faculty who know the industry. You've got talent. Let's see what you got.
The digital media class started out really in the early 80s when the first cable company came into town and was wanting to provide their services to the people of Perryville. In the early 90s, they decided to add a program to the Career Center, which is the vocational programs that is offered by the school district, and they decided to find a different program, and they thought they could utilize TV and video productions, which is what the name of the program used to be. And here is the Marshall 7-inch monitor. As you know, when you hook up... The class is comprised of technical things where the students have to learn about cameras and the different settings on the camera to get a good image and good sound. And then we branch off into after you get the images, what do you do with them? You edit those together. And so they learn how to edit using a non-linear editing program. And we use Final Cut Pro. We work on Apple products. They do things from traditional animation to digital animation. They do documentaries every year in the spring semester. And they also do a final project. And the final project can be anything they think of. Every year we'll look at the program, and I have an advisory committee that we meet twice a year, and they give me suggestions, and I look at trends that are going on in the industry, and I try to get something, for instance, drones. Drones are very big now. They've been big for a few years, but it wasn't until last year that we got a drone. And so the kids can now fly a drone under my supervision and see if they like that, because that's exploding. That's a new way to do aerial shots that is affordable for a lot of people. A lot of my students that go on to even college say that they're usually a semester or two ahead of other people that didn't have a program in school or just switched recently. They have some knowledge of the terminology, some knowledge of how the profession works and its hierarchies from above the line talent to below the line talent and things like that. We are hoping to, in my case, get a new facility, because we're pretty crammed up here from where the class began. When I first got here, we had 3 field cameras and 3 studio cameras. Now we have 6 field cameras of high quality, and we just recently got 3 new studio cameras and new studio equipment in the control room, and we're just running out of space to put everything, because we do our best to keep everything working, and most things still work, so you hate to throw things out, but occasionally you do have to get rid of some things. We have little ball games and things that we could play if we wanted to. We run the public access channel, which mainly is a bulletin board for things that go around the community, and we also play our content on it, but we have in recent years been expanding where we've got a presence on YouTube and Facebook and now Twitter and some of the other things where people can find our content and view it. That gives the students another way to get their work out there, because what they're doing in the 2 years here, they're creating a reel that they can take to an employer.
This is PVTV News, and our first story today is about Hurricane.
Hackers are brilliant. At Southeast Missouri State, our students are better. We're 4-time Missouri cyber defense champs, constantly learning new languages to protect and defend real-world threats. Our cybersecurity program was the first of its kind in Missouri. Our faculty are industry professionals. And did we mention 100% of our grads get jobs? Tomorrow's threats? They may not be invented yet, but our students are ready.
Imagine your entire family killed in front of you. You'd be traumatized for life. And so it is for these elephants, victims of the ivory trade. Please, be ivory free, because when the buying stops, the killing can too.
You want the world to be a better place, but you don't expect it to get there all on its own. You're a helper, a caregiver, a doer, and you're ready. At Southeast Missouri State, we have over 60 health studies programs. You can intern at 2 world-class hospitals right next door, do research with expert faculty, or use your business skills in a growing field. We're going to help you succeed here, so you can help the world get better out there.
On Southeast Missouri State University's campus, there is a community whose history spans more than a century and a half. A community founded on philanthropy, scholarship, and sisterhood. Sororities have been an integral part of colleges and universities, both nationally and internationally. They provide both positive social and academic outlets and opportunities to help progress and better the lives of millions of young women every year.
The National Panhellenic Council is the umbrella organization over the 26 national women's fraternities and sororities. Each organization is its own social Greek letter society composed of college women and alum. And then here on campus, the National Panhellenic Council is composed of 8 executive board members, as well as a delegate from each of the 7 organizations. Each organization provides a home away from home for its members. It provides a place to thrive academically with mentoring programs, study hour programs, stuff like that. It provides a good social experience. You're always meeting new people, talking to new people, whether it be within your own chapter, within other chapters. Panhellenic formal sorority recruitment is a mutual selection process between potential new members and active sorority women that gives potential new members a chance to meet chapter members, ask them questions, learn about their organizations.
SEMO's formal sorority recruitment is a long 4-day process that works to ensure that the young women going through the program are finding the right home for them. But they do not go through this process alone. There is an elite group of women working to make a difference in the process for the potential new members.
Pi Chis are women that are already in chapters here. They are women that disaffiliate from their chapters, which means that they no longer use those letters for an extended amount of time. At that time, they take on new letters, their role as a Pi Chi. The role that Pi Chis play in sorority recruitment is very high. It's a very needed role in recruitment. Girls will come through, obviously most of them are new to college, new surroundings, new friends, sometimes people they don't even know. First things first is a Pi Chi is someone that can just be there for them. You know, they can be their first friend in college, somebody to go out to eat with, somebody to just do things with, someone new to interact with that's already gone through the process. Once recruitment has started, they are that confidant, they are the person that they can, after each night, can sit down and talk to, just kind of how they're feeling about each chapter. They go into a 4-week training process. Training such as scenarios, putting them in situations and seeing how they react, teaching them how to be good leaders, teaching them how to, you know, kind of console girls and things like that, because sometimes the recruitment process can be, you know, intimidating and stressful and things of that nature.
I wanted to become a Pi Chi because I had a really bad Pi Chi experience, and for me, I felt like I wasn't worth enough to be talked to about things, or like I felt like me being there didn't really matter, and I didn't want any other girl going through recruitment to feel that way. I think that Pi Chis play a large and a very important role in recruitment. During recruitment by my Pi Chi group was called, you know, Mama Kinsey a lot, so I guess you do kind of end up playing a mom role. You're there for them when they need you the most and when they're the most confused, and that's when they're trying to figure out if they like one sorority more than the other, or, you know, they're confused on a choice.
I think one thing that a lot of people don't understand is the fact of why we do such formality within our recruitment. The big thing is that we want these women to feel most comfortable with the chapter that they're going into. We want them to have friends beforehand. We want each girl to have equal opportunity during recruitment and within recruitment to find which home or which chapter suits them best.
And when recruitment is over, everything comes together in a massive celebration on bid day, the day where new members and Pi Chis get to run home. And for the new members, it is the start of a journey that not only lasts 4 years, but for the rest of their lives as Panhellenic women.
my name is Jessica Howard, Prevention Services Director for FCC Behavioral Health. Today we are here on an adventure, a successful prevention adventure, here at Matthews Elementary Pre-K through 5th grade. Today we will be exploring a great Department of Behavioral Health prevention funded program called SPIRIT. The initiative seeks to develop social skill to increase school and academic performance, promote healthy lifestyles, and specifically the choice to abstain from alcohol and drugs. Today you'll get to hear and see the power of prevention, the power of the Peace Builder program, a climate change program within the Matthews School District. And who better to talk to us about that than the Matthews principal?
I'm Angie Hanlon, and this is my second year as Matthews principal here at Matthews Elementary in Matthews, Missouri. 15 years ago, Jessica Howard came to our school with a program. She wanted to start Missouri Spirit program, and there was going to be a positive behavior support program called Peace Builders, and they needed a teacher to implement that in the classroom and then facilitate it for our school. So I was the teacher chosen, and I started and I received my training, and very quickly I saw what this program did to students, what it did to me, and definitely what it did to our classroom environment. The thing we've learned this year is it came through discussions with students that really almost every single bully situation or a fight or an argument between children starts, and really people for that matter, it starts with a put down. And we've learned that you break that cycle by righting your wrongs and then following up with praise, praising those people through their changes, and that you can truly turn around any situation.
It's taught me to give up put downs, be nice to others, help others if they're hurt and all that.
A long time ago, people were being really mean, and then when we started giving up put downs, they quit being mean.
We've been trying to build each other up instead of trying to build them down more. It just in general helps you be kind to others and try and treat everybody equal.
It isn't something that I tell the students, I want you to do this. They just naturally do it. They're very warm and friendly to visitors that we have here, and it's completely changed. But it hasn't only changed the students, I've seen it change the teachers.
One of the most positive traits that I have seen that Peace Builders produces in students is just helping others. There's a tremendous focus on one student wanting to help another student, and that's one thing that I love about the Peace Builders program.
I have seen that Peace Builder has changed my students the most, and that they're taking responsibility for their own actions. It's not just a discipline plan where I'm implementing it. I hear my kids using the words like, we need to help others. Hey, that was a put down, that hurt my feelings, you need to right that wrong.
I believe that my discipline is more focused, and I believe that the kids understand what I expect from them, because kids need to know what a teacher's expectations are so they can live up to that.
I have definitely seen changes in myself because of Peace Builders, because it makes me slow down and really think about what I'm doing and how I'm presenting it to the kids. And when I use the vocabulary of Peace Builders, it lets them see that I make mistakes too, and whoa, I need to right that wrong, let's restart and go from the beginning.
My goal for myself as principal when I got back here was to truly make the Peace Builder pledge and the Peace Builder principles come to life. So it wasn't just to have the students and teachers say, I am a peace builder, I pledge to praise people, or I pledge to give up put downs. It was to truly take those things and make that come to life for the students and the faculty here.
It helped us to make more friends and to be nicer and not to just leave someone at a point where you just don't know if you're going to have them as a friend anymore.
A lot of our kiddos don't realize how far their actions reach. They just use a put down or do something and don't realize how it is. So I think it gives them ownership over what they're doing, and they're able to change their own behavior instead of waiting for a grown-up to step in and take care of it.
What's the point of being mean to people? Like, are you just trying to do it? Or like, you want to be nice, or they're going to think you're like, oh, they're being mean, so I'm not going to hang around them. You want to have good friends, and like, you want to have friends that can be there for you like when you're down.
Peace Builders has changed our school and our students tremendously. Everyone seems to be on the same page. We all have the same focus as far as discipline goes.
Like whenever someone, like you don't understand what they mean or something and you weren't being very respectful, like then you think about it later and then you would tell them, I'm sorry I didn't understand you, and that would be part of being a peace builder because you're thinking about someone, like what their feelings are.
So the program truly makes you think about what you're saying, how you're treating others, and then over time it just changes you, and it has definitely changed the environment. And so my goal is that they not only become great students, but that they also become great people. And the Peace Builders program helps us actually teach the students through time and lessons and just by being a good role model to them how they can do that. If I could talk to other schools that are not doing this program, one thing that I would say to the building leader is I cannot imagine leading this building without this program. And I cannot stress enough that Peace Builders is not a program that you can do 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, say the Peace Builder pledge in the morning and then you're good. It is truly something that sets up and establishes a culture and it changes your environment. So if you have a climate that is either not positive or one that is filled with discipline concerns or students that have a lot of behavior issues, my very first suggestion would be to implement the Peace Builder program. I know here I could not do it without it. This is the best way I have found in my 20 years of experience in education to truly change the whole being. This is the best way I've ever found to do it, is by implementing the Peace Builder program.
RiverTales is a production by Southeast Missouri State University's TV and Film Department.